Hello, Ryan here with another episode of Try My Darling, and this episode I'm going to be looking at kind of the one of the early stages in the original Shovel Knight and comparing it to the same early stage in Specter of Torment. I recorded a video about Specter of Torment over the weekend, and I didn't end up loving the way it turned out, so I wanted to replace it with this one. So I'm going to start with the original Shovel Knight, and I'm going to be playing the Plains stage. And it is shoveling time indeed. So, I'm playing, I'm playing the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove on the Switch. This includes everything Shovel Knight, basically. All of the expansions, the co-op modes, just everything that's been patched in. But I think it's interesting because I finished Specter of Torment, and I think it's interesting to, kind of compare the vibes and the layouts of this Plains stage between the original Shovel Knight and Specter. So obviously the original Shovel Knight has been out for a few years now. It is still one of my favorite games, and I weirdly love it even more after finishing Specter of Torment, which is just fantastic. Not really going through and getting all the secrets in this run. Just kind of wanted a more general look at the stages, the layouts. So as you can see with, if you're not familiar with these games, the primary mechanic that Shovel Knight has is both swinging the shovel and using a down thrust style to boop enemies on their heads, and which is similar to the mechanics that Scrooge McDuck has in DuckTales, but also reminiscent of Link's attacks in Zelda 2. He has the side, the typical side slash, but also down thrust and up thrust as well. Oh my goodness, that was really dumb. Whoops. Bummer. So yeah, when you die, I guess it's like Dark Souls or something, or I guess the original like Diablo games, but you have to go back to your last checkpoint, and you've now dropped all of your well, not all of your money, but a percentage of your money, and so you have to go back to the spot where you lost it to get it back, and if you die again, then that's all gone. So this is kind of tricky here. Go. So no real harm done there. But I found in the original Shovel Knight, currency is pretty important because you use it to get meal tickets, which help extend your life bar. And that's not the way it works in Specter of Torment. And so I felt like money was less valuable in Specter of Torment, but that's okay, because I was losing all my money a lot more. And because I definitely think Specter of Torment is more challenging. It has some pretty huge difficulty spikes, I found. But it's nothing that's like totally not manageable. There's just a few sections that I had to redo like 9 or 10 times. Alright, so that is the plain stage finished in the original Shovel Knight. So now I'm going to pop over to Specter of Torment. Alright, so now, thanks to the magic of video editing, I am at the plain stage in Specter of Torment, and you can kind of see how different the aesthetic is, and how Specter Knight's mechanics differ as well. Even the music is like way more sinister. But yeah, you can see Specter Knight has wall jump capabilities, and he has a few other tricks up his sleeve. But, I mean, what's uniform between the two games is, the great aesthetic, and the really tight and responsive controls, which is great because both of the games get really demanding, but Specter of Torment especially. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because Shovel Knight has some pretty challenging sections, especially towards the end. So, as you can see here, Specter Knight has this sort of like jump boost where he uses his scythe to get an extra boost, and that's a huge mechanic in this game. And it's oftentimes combined with the wall run, as we'll see here, which is just makes you feel pretty cool. It's kind of that feeling you get from a game like, I don't know, like the original Strider or like Prince of Persia Sands of Time, where it just feels good to do some of these moves. So what just happened there was I fell on spikes, and usually that would kill me, but this is actually the game file that I finished the game with, but I can actually, I survived that. I just lost some will and darkness because I had the armor I'm using, and basically what this armor does is it makes it so that if if I do fall in a pit or fall into spikes, instead of killing me in one hit, it just knocks down a bunch of my will, which is my life bar, and my darkness, which is my magic. And right now, you get what are called curios that are like your magic spells, essentially. And the one I have right now, when I use it, it takes down my darkness, my magic points, but it refills a bunch of my will, my life. So there's a bunch of different curios that you can use, but that is this is the one that I found most useful to my playstyle and skill level. It really helps out when you're fighting bosses to be able to refill your life like mid fight. So again, I know there's some secrets over there to the right, but I'm not really going for the tricky secrets in this run here. Just kind of getting the simple stuff. So there are story reasons why I'm replaying this stage here, and the story in Specter of Torment is surprisingly great. It really is like tragedy. Like, it's told really well, and it's something you might not expect from this style of game. But there's also, the writing is just really, really good. I found myself really caring about the characters. There's some great humor in there. This is tricky. I have to jump down and then get below that green flying dragon, so I can propel myself up to get to the next place to swing my oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of tricky platforming in here, and like I said before, I think overall Specter Knight is a more challenging campaign than the original Shovel Knights. But I still ended up finishing it in about 3.5 hours, the Specter Knight campaign. So it's a little shorter than the original Shovel Knight, but I only got 32% of items. Yeah, there's definitely some replayability potential there. So again, fighting Black Knight, but this is a prequel, so the reasons for fighting him are a little bit different than the Shovel Knight campaign, and the way the battle plays out is also a little different. But if you do, once you've finished both of the campaigns, the original Shovel Knight and Specter of Torment, you really do get a great kind of complete version of this story that's pretty fantastic. Understanding how all the pieces kind of come together. So, that is about it for this episode of Try My Darling. I highly, highly recommend that, if you have a Nintendo Switch or any other platform, to go to, if you haven't already, check out Shovel Knight. If you any platform available. Even though I think it's really great on the Switch because it looks awesome on the small screen, and then it scales up to 1080p when it's docked. So it looks great no matter how you play it. But all in all, just an incredible package. These games are so good. Yeah, highly, highly recommended. And I need to go and finish the Plague of Shadows campaign. I've never really been able to wrap my head around the mechanics in the Plague Knight campaign, but I think that's going to be something I want to do because I'm actually really into the story at this point of the Shovel Knight mythos. So, yeah. That wraps up this episode. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at Brawndwarf, BRAWNDWARF, and you can also check out our podcast and blog over at NintendoFunClubPodcast.com. So, thank you a ton for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.